Look what just came in the mail. It must be time to plant wildflowers. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. When I came home from work today, I noticed a package in the mail, and in the package contained my wildflower seeds that I had sent away for. I had sent away to a company called Wildflower Farm here in Coldwater, Ontario. Uh, right now is an excellent time to be planting wildflower seeds or perennial seeds in general. Because here in southwestern Ontario and most of the northern states, um, we are currently in fall. The temperatures are getting cooler. A lot of our annuals are dying. A lot of perennials are preparing uh, for winter. And many perennial seeds in our climate here need something called winter stratification, meaning that they need to have their biological clocks in the seed for the plant embryo. Needs to have a dormant period, a time of cold um, to synchronize their biological clocks. Now, what ends up happening is this allows the plant to, in the spring, to emerge and start to grow, and then you'll have beautiful wildflowers. Now, some wildflowers are annuals, right? So they will only be around for one season, but will form heads of seeds and will drop the seeds, and next year you'll have more and more and more, and they'll come back every year. Some are biennials, meaning that they will, for the first year, will just grow and have lots of leaf matter or foliage, and then will, in the following year, produce the flowers and then the seeds, and then the cycle starts over again. And then others are perennials. They may flower the first year, they may flower the second year, but once they're established, they continue. Many wildflowers are short-lived perennials, so they'll live for, several years, maybe 5, maybe a decade, um, and then will die. But the thing is that they'll produce tons of seeds that will then spread and replace them, and then you can move them to your garden and have a beautiful wildflower garden. Now, my garden, as some of you have seen, is not a wildlife meadow, right? I don't have lots um, of grassy meadow plains, but I think it's important that we maintain biodiversity and have plants that are native to our area, such that we can provide nectar for birds, bees, butterflies, and all of our pollinators. Since we are in a decline, many of these pollinators are dying, whether it be from herbicides and pesticides or from viruses in the case of some of the bees, and habitat loss. So some of the flowers, wildflowers, um, are also dying because of these herbicides that we're using to kill off weeds. And some of these flowers are considered to be weeds by farmers. It wipes them out. The other thing is climate change and also habitat loss. We're clearing all of the land to put in, superstores and homes. In the process, we are clearing away the habitat of some of these wildflowers. So I sent away for some wildflowers, quite a few actually, that I would like to use in my garden that provide several functions. One, any gardener wants to have flowers that look good, right? We don't want dainty, small little flowers. We would like to have beautiful flowers, something that looks nice to look at, but it's also good for the environment and the birds and the bees and everything else. So I chose my plants very carefully. I also chose plants that have as long as a season as possible while they're in bloom, such that I can enjoy them for a longer time, right? So some of the flowers, just to go through, that I picked up, is I picked up things like, for instance, wild lupine, which is a very endangered plant used by the Coneflower blue butterfly as its main larval for the larvae to eat off of and drink nectar from. Very, very important plant that we should be putting in our gardens. I think everybody should plant some. I think it's very important. I also got things like, blue false indigo, which are a beautiful plant that attract butterflies. I got lots of different kinds of coneflowers. So I already have in my garden um, uh, pale purple coneflower. I bought some more of those seeds here, just in case something ever happened to the ones I have currently. But I also went out and bought some other ones. For instance, I bought a yellow coneflower, which is going to be a very tall plant that's going to be getting up to about 6 feet tall. It's huge. Um, it's found in the prairies, both in Canada and in the United States. I also got things like narrowleaf coneflower, and also one very interesting one that I've never heard before. I've never heard of this particular coneflower. And from my understanding, it's a very, very rare coneflower that's only found in one place in the States, and it's called Tennessee coneflower. Now, unlike the regular coneflowers, which can grow to a decent size of, in and around, well, what do they say? They suggest that they grow up to 5 feet. This particular one only grows to about a foot. So it's very miniature, very small, has very dainty heads. Very nice small flowers. Very interesting. Something that I never knew existed. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool to have in a garden as a specimen piece and to talk over to other people and to talk with people about. I think it's kind of cool. I also got, unusual things like purple poppy marrow, Downy Sunflower, Woodland Sunflowers, Cardinal Flowers, white false indigo, Beardtongue. Those were very interesting. They're beautiful plants. You should look some of them up. Of course, I'll have them written in the description below of all these plants I got, so you can look them for yourself. I also got things like, New England Aster. Now, where I live, there's tons and tons of New England Aster. The problem is I've always gone out and tried to actually transplant them, and they don't transplant very well. They often died, and I tried to take seed heads and sprinkle them around, and I've had no success. So I thought, well, I'll try them again. I'll buy some seeds and try again. The reason why I think New England Asters are very important is because they are a late nectar source for butterflies and bees. Don't forget, these insects, they need a constant supply of nectar throughout the growing season. And most people have beautiful gardens, probably ranging from mid-June right until the beginning of October. But then a lot of things die. You get a very weird frost or a light frost, and all of our tender annuals are gone. And a lot of our perennials have been done now. By the time October rolls around, most of them are done. So these organisms need something to feed on, some nectar, and this provides a late source of nectar for them, which is one reason why I got them. Another thing that I got 2 different types of Blazingstar or Liatris. So one is the tall spires, which most people see. I used to have some of these, and we had a really bad winter 2 years ago that completely wiped them out and killed them. So I'm pretty happy to get some more. Then I found this unusual one, and it's called Meadow Blazingstar. And instead of having like the tall spikes, they have like pom-poms of flowers. So there's quite a difference. So the pom-pom versus the tall spikes. Now what's interesting about this is apparently it is a magnet for monarch butterflies. They just love drinking the nectar from this plant. And being that the monarch butterflies are in decline, I think it's important that we have a nectar source for them. Being that I'm attracting monarch butterflies in my garden anyways with milkweed, I think it was important to have a nectar source for the adults as well to bring to the garden. And the last thing I bought was Bergamot. It is, number one, very fragrant. I used to have this as well, but a rabbit came by and completely ate the whole thing, and it didn't come back. But it attracts lots of bees and butterflies, and it also makes good tea. I love tea. I'm a tea granny, so I think it's good to have it. And what's nice about this is it blooms all summer long, going right into early fall. So it's a beautiful plant that's providing me with color throughout most of the growing season. Now what's nice with all these wildflowers, and why it's a nice time to plant them, is because right now you can put them out in the garden when all the plants start to die, your annuals. Just put them in the ground, lightly sprinkle some soil on them. Some of the plants need to have light in order to germinate, but you just put them down, cold stratify them over the winter, They'll naturally sprout and have beautiful plants and perennials that you'll have for years and years and years, and tons of seeds, and will attract lots of wildlife and increase biodiversity, not only within your backyard, but in your community, which is very important. As we are stewards of the land, I think it's important that we give back and try our best to make this world a better place. So thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.